Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys.
I'm just checking over there, Joy.
I ain't got nothing.
no,
Stop looking over there.
What happened to the
Stay on your side.
You should celebrate because you got this.
This is my side over here. I don't need you peering over the table looking to see what I got over
Remember, this is whatever it takes. So you should be happy. He's got this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly what the Cavaliers needed.
Do I look worried?
Refocus. Yes, you do.
No.
Yeah, you do. You got that look.
Wake me up when they get to 4. Hey, how you doing, Joe? How was the weekend?
It was good.
Good. I had a good weekend myself.
Didn't you? I had a great
I
Sunday
bet
night.
you did.
Yeah.
I bet you did.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's all right. Kawhi ain't coming back.
that's
As long as Kawhi don't come back,
We'll get to that later, and we'll get to the Des Bryant drama
Yes,
in
we
just a minute. But let's start with the Cavs. LeBron's teams had won 21 straight first-round games until yesterday. They were blown out at home by the Pacers in Game 1. LeBron had a triple-double with 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists, but the Cavs trailed by 19 after the first quarter and by as many as 23 in the game. They also missed 26 three-pointers. Victor Oladipo was the star for the Pacers with 32 points. Let's take a listen to Oladipo and LeBron after the game.
I'm down 0-1 in the first round. I was down 3-1 in the finals. So I'm the last guy to ask about how you're going to feel the next couple of days. They came in and they dictated the tempo. They were more aggressive. They just played inspired basketball, and they just took advantage of everything that we wanted to try to do.
We're fully aware of his team, and we realize it's not going to be easy, but that doesn't mean we're just going to come in here and just fold. We're planning on winning. That's why we came to this series. That's why we came to play this game, is to win, not just to come here and just be okay.
Shannon, how much trouble are the Cavs in?
As I said earlier, wake me when they get to 4. I'm not concerned at all. If you look at do I think the Cavaliers will shoot this poorly again in this series? No, I do not. And this is what happens. The Cavaliers are a three-point shooting team. When they're going in, obviously they can win. But the thing is that when you're not making those shots and you turn the ball over, you get what you got in the first quarter, 33-14. They go 0 for 6, 0 for 8. They have 5, 6 turnovers, and the next thing you know, it's 2-4, it's 4-4, it's 8-4. Bam, 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 bam. Next thing you know, it's 21-6, and that's what happened. Do I believe the Cavaliers? It's more likely that the Cavaliers will have better shooting nights moving forward as opposed to Victor Oladipo going 6 for 9 from the three-point line. Do you believe he's going to continue to play like that? If someone would have told Ty Lue, you're going to hold the Pacers to under 100 points, he would take that every single day. Now, the problem that I see for the Cavaliers, and they've had this Achilles heel all year, Skip, what are they going to do with the pick and roll? Are they going to trap it? You can't go up under. So this is what we're going to do now. You just make a conscious decision. I don't care. We're going to trap the pick and roll. We're going to get the ball out of the guy's hand. And we're going to take our chance with Sabonis and Miles Turner. They're big guys rolling to the basket. We'll take our chances because it seems to me that they can make those outside shots. We can't be switching the pick and roll because now you got Oladipo out there dancing with the ball, and you got Larry Nance Jr., you got Kevin Love. That's in their favor. And Oladipo, give him credit. He's played unbelievable. I don't think anybody saw this Oladipo in Orlando. You definitely didn't get a chance to see it last year in OKC because Russ was ball dominant. But they played, give them credit. As LeBron said, they came in, they were aggressive, they were decisive. They took care of the basketball early, got this big lead, and they withstood every run that the Cavaliers would try to to throw at them. But am I worried? Absolutely, I am not worried because as he said before, you just heard that man say, or am I worried about being down 0-1 in the first round of the playoffs, considering I was down 3-1 to a team that won 73 games in the regular season and had a 2-time unanimous MVP on their roster? Ain't worried at all.
Interesting. So you're not worried, even though you have the 29th ranked defensive team out of 30 NBA teams, and you're telling me about switching pick and rolls. They have been horrendous all year long, guarding anything of any variety, whether you're switching or trying to get through on the pick and roll.
Well, we're going to trap.
You're going to trap the pick and rolls. You can try all that. You're just a lousy defensive team, and you're going to have to live with that, which is why LeBron James is now in the biggest trouble he has ever been in a first-round series, ever. It's not even close because guess what? He had never, ever, he was 12-0 in home game ones of first-round series, and that was the first one he's ever lost. And I'm going to remind you, I've been telling you this all last week, but the Indiana Pacers are no fluke and no joke. And yesterday for the Pacers was just business as usual because they'd beaten the Cavaliers 3 out of 4 times during the regular season, so now they've beaten them 4 out of 5. And when Victor Oladipo, as we just saw, said, we plan to win game 2, which would make it 5 out of 6, I got to tell you, I bought it because this isn't just hopeless, lucky underdog talk. This isn't one-game wonder talk. This isn't whistling through the graveyard talk. This is a team that played yesterday with conviction and body language of a team that just thinks it's better than the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it looked better than the Cavaliers yesterday. And I'm going to remind you about Victor Oladipo. I don't know if people noticed this year, but he had a flat-out breakout season.
Yeah, he did.
He had career highs in every offensive category. Scoring, rebounding, assists, and certainly steals because he led the NBA in steals. And by the way, Victor had 4 more yesterday. Boy, he was getting his hands on a lot of LeBron dribbles, wasn't he? Knocking the ball free.
He's a very good two-way player.
He can make things happen. So bottom line to yesterday, before I get to LeBron, was Indiana won game 1 more than the Cavaliers lost game 1. And Indiana overcame Cleveland's starting 8 because I thought all 3 referees were playing for Cleveland. I've never seen anything like it before.
Stop.
Hey, the Cavs got every call. LeBron got every call, and they lost by 18. Shouldn't that scare you, LeShannon Sharp?
First of all, if they got every call, how did the Pacers shoot more free throws than the Cavs?
They did because they were more aggressive. They were just
But what about the calls?
Fouls. But every time I looked up, LeBron's hacking somebody, and I'm just like, that's not a foul. It got pretty embarrassing for the Cavs, but that's okay.
But I already know what you're doing. I see what you're doing, Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
Because when the Cavaliers come back and win, you're going to say, oh, they gagged. You're not going to give them credit for winning. You're going to like, oh, he had a cakewalk. See, that's what you do, Skip.
Yeah. So here we are back to game 1, first quarter.
Okay.
And all I'm going to hear for the next 48 hours is, LeBron just doesn't have enough help. The other guys got to make threes. Poor LeBron.
No, you got to make threes. Just make shots.
Make shots. Make threes.
It would help.
So, Shannon Sharp, what happened in quarter number 1 yesterday? You call LeBron the best player on the planet, right?
Yeah.
You said LeBron should have won this year's regular season MVP. Am I correct?
Yep.
Where was he? Because the LeBron I was looking for in the first quarter went 0 dark 30 on the basketball court. He didn't score a single basket in the first quarter of the first game of the playoffs.
He had 2.
He made 2 free throws.
Yeah.
By the way, 10 out of 14. That's 71%. So you're already your latest due.
Don't worry about it.
He's
about to go
get it back.
Next 2 games. He's gonna go straight.
You better hope so, because
but the game was Skip. You know how LeBron plays. The game will dictate what he does. The guys were wide open. So you mean to tell me? So let me ask you this: what are the chances that the Cavaliers win a ball game? LeBron scores 24, and the other 4 starters have 25. What's the likelihood of them winning a ball game?
He has to assert himself against a team that I'm sure he believes in his head and heart is inferior. He just has to say, this is my house. I am the king. I'm king. Remember his sneakers at New York. And show them that he's in charge of this game. And when he goes 0 for the first quarter in field goals, and all of a sudden, he's a minus 19, which was the worst of any player on the floor in the first quarter, and he played all 12 minutes. And Oladipo is a plus 19, and the score goes to 33-14. And by the way, 14 was the fewest points the Cavs have scored in the first quarter all year. Whose fault was that? Do I blame that on Jeff Green? I'm not. I'm going to blame it on LeBron James because you're telling me he's the best player on the planet. You got to set the tone. Set the tone.
You can't have it both ways. You can't say it wasn't something that Cleveland didn't do. It's what Indiana did do. Yeah. So are you going to give Indiana credit or are you going to take blame from LeBron?
They played pretty good defense, but they still don't have a defender. They don't have it. Come on.
You just said
LeBron James, what's the slogan? Whatever it takes. Well, it's going to take more than 0 field goals in the first quarter.
Is the series, hold on, is the series over?
No. But
so one game
is teetering. It is teetering.
On what?
So then, here's what happened in the second quarter. It starts, and 2 minutes go by, and the Cavaliers are still struggling. And guess what LeBron James, Iron Man, does? he waves to Ty Lue, take me out. And I'm like, take you out? You're in trouble. You're Iron Man. You played the most minutes of any player in the league. You were the only player to play 3,000 plus minutes in the league. And you're waving in game one of the playoffs in the second quarter, take me out, Ty?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because
I'm like, come
he
on.
played 5 minutes more than everybody else that was on the court.
Take me out?
How many?
So
how many,
he goes out for 2 minutes, and of course they go from 13 down to 17 down. Okay.
So that's your question.
Yeah.
How many guys you know play the first 14 minutes of a ball game in the NBA?
It's Iron Man. He plays like close to 48 minutes every night.
We know what he is.
I can't put him up against anybody else.
Why not?
Don't judge him by anybody else because you're always telling me he's the best.
Okay,
player
well,
on
how
the
many
planet.
times did the best?
Nobody is in better shape than LeBron James. Then don't wave out in quarter number 2 of the first playoff game. You can't do it, Shannon. It sends a message to your team. I guess he's just not into it today.
Stop. No, it doesn't send that message.
Yeah, it does.
You being disingenuous. You know
No, I'm not. I
don't
am not. If I'm on his team, I'm saying, what?
You said, oh, he's
What?
tired.
He's gassed?
Yes.
We're just getting
He
going
played-
here. We're getting our butts
Hold
kicked.
on. What do you mean we?
Huh?
He's the only one that played the first 14 minutes of the ball game.
Well, I'm saying if
Nobody
I'm
else-
his teammate, I'm saying we're in trouble here. Don't ask out. Don't wave out.
Hold on. LeBron played 12 minutes. Jeff Green played a little under 10. Kevin Love under 8. Rodney Hood played 3:24. George Hill played 8 minutes. Kyle Korver played 3:38.
Yep.
Larry. So
And then,
I'm trying
Shannon Sharp, what happened down the stretch? Because with 10 minutes left in the game, LeBron made a driving layup, and I always tell you, nobody can keep him from the rim.
Yeah.
And that cut it to 7. And I'm thinking, okay, here they come. And then what happened? Nate McMillan calls time, so LeBron gets a little quick blow, and then the Pacers go on a 10-2 run, and LeBron doesn't score in the 10-2 run.
Well, what happened was that you're right. They get it down to 7. Okay, Indiana misses a shot. Cavs come down, turn it over, and the next thing you know, 3-3, boom. Now we're back to where you originally started from. I do not believe Rodney Hood will continue to miss those wide open threes. I do not believe Jeff Green will go over for the entire game. If you're going to tell me Jeff Green's going to play almost 27 minutes and score no points, we're going to be in trouble. Rodney Hood. I mean, think about it, Skip. Let this sink in.
He just doesn't have enough help.
The other four starters scored one more point than LeBron James did himself.
Do you ever think that they go as the King goes? And if the King sets a first quarter tone, they're going to start feeding off the King's confidence and dominance?
He was trying to get them going by getting them wide open looks at threes. They were not falling. It was almost like someone had a lid on the basket. It was one game, Skip. It's one game. But I already know how you're going to do this. As soon as they come back and win this ball game, you're going to say it was a cakewalk.
Yep.
That's what you're going to do.
What I'm saying right now is LeBron ran out of gas down the stretch of game number 1 because he ran out of gas in the second quarter and he ran out of gas in the fourth quarter when he took 3 total shots and made one of them. They need more.
How much effort?
He's the guy. He's the MVP, according to Shannon Sharp.
How much effort does it take to come back when you get down 23 points in a ball game? George Hill they set the back screen on George Hill. He tweaked that ankle again. So now LeBron has to carry the load. He doesn't want,
He's Iron Man. He's the MVP.
Skip, stop.
Did you see what the runner-up MVP James Harden did in the fourth quarter against a game Minnesota last night? He scored 14 straight points.
Hold on.
And LeBron scored what in the fourth quarter?
Hold on, tell me.
Help me out.
I'm glad you said I got the notes right here.
Help me out.
James Harden played 41 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
But guess
14 straight points.
Guess who he has on the roster? Chris Paul, who played a lot of minutes.
Yeah,
so let me
Chris
get this
Paul
right.
was horrible last night, by the way.
38. So James Harden, they got an equal contribution. Equal contribution. Chris Paul had 14. Clint Capella had 24 and 12. Where was LeBron at? Who else had double figures with LeBron? I'm trying to see on LeBron's team who had double figures with him on the starting lineup. Skip, I'm trying to figure who had starting. Hold up.
Yep.
Jeff Green 0 points. Kevin Love 9. Rodney Hood 9.
The poor man just doesn't have enough help. He never has enough help. And as I said all year long, he's playing the most minutes in the league to build in an excuse for the postseason where he can say, I ran out of gas.
So let me ask you this. So what is it? Okay, he never has enough. Is it he never has enough help, or is the East a cakewalk? Now you got to pick one. You
I
can't keep.
told you. I apologized to Philadelphia and the city of Indianapolis, and I said I'm overlooking the Sixers, who rose and shone. We're going to talk about them later because they are exploding on the NBA right now.
So when they beat Indiana, they beat the Sixers. What will you say then?
Well, I don't. They're not going to beat. Well, they're not going to beat the 76ers.
Okay,
I already picked it.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
we're
see about
going
that.
to see.
So
But
now let's get down to LeBron's quote, which made me laugh out loud last night when I saw it. That he says, "I'm the last guy to ask about how I'm going to feel the next 2 days because I'm the guy who was down 3-1 in the NBA Finals to Golden State." This is totally different than that. When that happened, nobody expected LeBron to go win Game 5 because they had already gone to Golden State in Game 1 and lost by 15, and then they lost Game 2 at Golden State by 37. So they had basically gotten blown out at Golden State twice already. So when they go back to Golden State, where Golden State had been that year 39-2 at home, what did everybody think was going to happen until Draymond got suspended? That was the turning point of that series. He got suspended in large part because he audibly yelled at LeBron the B word. He called LeBron the B word, and it changed everything because they didn't have their guts and glue guy for Game 5.
What about
Here
Game 6? Did he play in Game 6?
There was no pressure on LeBron. They were the hopeless underdog at that point. They are no longer the hopeless underdog against Indiana because most people would still think Indiana is still the underdog.
So let me ask you a question. You won't answer me. What happened in Game 6 and 7? Were those games not played?
No,
Did Draymond?
played.
Which game did Draymond miss? 6 or 7?
He
Which
played
game did
6 and
Steph
7.
Curry miss?
No.
5, 6, or 7?
No,
What about Clay?
He was pretty horrible in 6 and 7.
Oh, he's pretty horrible.
No.
Because see, I already know how this story is going to play out, Skip.
Yeah.
You're going to find a reason to try to diminish when he comes back. And I'm telling you, he's coming back. They're going to win this series.
Okay.
Maybe the series goes longer than I anticipated. Maybe it goes longer than anyone anticipated. But the Cavaliers will win this series. And when they do, you will come up with an excuse to say they gagged.
I don't need
They don't have. Yeah, you do.
If LeBron takes over the game, I say he took over the game.
No.
Did he take over this game? No,
No.
he did not. And yet he's saying, I'm not worried about a Game 2 in which it's not a must win, but it's wouldn't you agree, a better win?
But Skip,
You better win.
Skip, you make it seem like LeBron is the only guy that's the only superstar that's never taken over a ball game. There are a lot of games that Michael Jordan didn't take over in the playoffs. You remember that closeout game and the one they won against Seattle? Tell the people at home what Michael Jordan was. Well, I happen to know. He was 5 of 19, 21 points. They won.
Shannon, he went 6-0.
See, there you go.
That's all I need to know. What's the bottom line? 6-0 with 6 MVPs. That's all I need to
Okay,
know.
so
He missed the last second shot in Game 5 at the United Center. I was there covering the team in 1998. And he said after the game, it was cute. That's what he said. It was just cute. And I'm like, it was cute? Because he said, I still got this. And what happened in Game 6? Tell the people at home what happened in Game 6. How did they win at the end? Michael stole the ball from Karl Malone and dribbled the length of the floor and gave a little slick little push to Byron Russell and just swished it.
No,
held the pose.
No,
held the pose.
I'm not talking about that game.
It's called clutch gene.
I'm talking about Seattle. I'm talking about Seattle. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Seattle.
That's fine.
Oh, see? But then what
Did they win? Yes.
So what? Hold on.
They won.
What did Indiana win? They won a game. Is the series over? You're talking like the series is over.
For the first time in LeBron's career, he lost a
so that's
game
what it is.
one.
So
No,
that's why the
not
sky's
what
falling.
I already said that's what it is.
That's what
They're
sky's
in
falling?
trouble. They're in big trouble. Yeah. What happens if they lose game 2? No sweat? No
Yeah,
sweat.
that's what you talking about.
Hey,
Yeah,
is it do or die? Is it do or die?
No.
No? Oh.
Wake me up when they get to 4.
Okay.
When they get to 4, then we'll have a conversation.
You mean when Indiana sweeps them? Then we'll have a conversation. Is that what you're talking about?
Stop playing.
No, I'm serious about that. And you keep saying, hey, we held them to 98. No, you didn't hold them to 98. The Pacers play slow. Their pace of play was tied for 23rd in the league. They like to slow it down and dribble the ball steadily up the floor and run their offense. They love to run their offense. So all I need to know is Cleveland lost by 18. They got held to 80 points. That's all you need to know.
If somebody would have skipped, they held team to 39, under 40% shooting threes, under 45% shooting from the field.
But, I mean, they made 39% of their threes. That's pretty good. And it's just one guy making them, basically, because
Oladipo.
Look at Bogdanovich. He goes 1 for 6.
Yeah.
And Darren Collison goes 1 for 4. And Lance goes 1 for 4.
Okay.
So that didn't hurt you. What if they start making their threes? What if, God forbid, wait a minute. What if Victor starts getting help?
The Cavaliers are 3rd in three-point made, 6th in three-point percentage. So what's more likely to happen? The Cavaliers start making their threes and shoot a higher percentage, or the Indiana Pacers continue this hot streak with the way Oladipo played? Which is more likely to happen, Skip Bayless?
So the cute little underdogs have now won 4 out of 5 against Cleveland this year.
What do they win for that?
What's history telling
What do they
you?
win? History?
Recent history is saying, maybe the
I rem-
Pacers know how to beat the Cavs.
I remember the Nets with a team LeBron. You know, they had swept them in the regular season, didn't they, Joy? Swept them. What happened? With KG, Paul Pierce, Joe Johnson, what happened, Skip?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly right.
But you know what? These Pacers still have that secret weapon, Lance.
Stop playing, Skip.
Does he not bother LeBron?
No, he does not bother LeBron.
Yes, he does. He bothered him yesterday. And you know what? I'm just fine.
How'd he bother him when the man got a triple-double, Skip?
I'm just fine. He had no real impact on this game. I'm fine when Lance hard fouls LeBron if he's going to get a tech or
What did Nate McMillan say? He had to get him up out of there.
Yeah.
Lance is like medicine, Joy. He works best in small doses.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to do.
But
Because
they're
he's
good
going to go
doses, man.
he's going to go over the edge.
Yeah.
All I know is this. How many series in which Lance Stephenson's been on one team, LeBron on the other, and Lance Stephenson's team has won that series? How many times, Skip? 0.
Who was the star on all those teams for Lance Stephenson? George Paul was the star.
He's not the
George
star
Paul.
on this team.
Oladipo's
Oladipo
the
is.
star. I'm just saying.
Okay, then.
I trust Oladipo in clutch situations far more than I trust George
The
Paul.
man has 1 year. Now all of a sudden you're a Victor Oladipo fan.
He was really good this year in every cap. This team was 6 games better than George Paul's team last year.
Okay.
6 games better.
But you said the East is a cakewalk, so that should be
I already
disqualified.
apologized. I apologized to Indiana. They were under radar until they suddenly emerged late. They won 7 of their last 10, and all of a sudden I'm saying, wait a second, this team's pretty good.
You and I both know Lance Stephenson has no bearing on LeBron James.
I think
you
he has
know
big-
that. Stop it, Skip.
Yep.
You remember last
He
year?
needs to
Do you remember
flavor it.
last year?
It's fine.
Do you remember last year? 33, 9, and 9. That's what he averaged in the series.
Do you remember what George Paul did down the stretch of those games? Do you remember? Didn't trust him.
No, one game he didn't. In one game he missed the 3. Another game he didn't take the shot.
Didn't
Okay,
take the
happens.
shot. Okay,
it happens.
It happens
Yeah,
a
it
lot.
happens.
Huh.
I love Skip. You need to stop now because you got people at
You
home
know who needs
thinking.
to start is
You
LeBron
got people
James.
at home.
If he's the MVP of this league, he had better guard Victor Oladipo in game
He was
2.
he guarded Oladipo, he guarded Collison, and then they go elsewhere with the ball. He can't. There's only one
I
of him.
saw LeBron playing a lot of zone yesterday. He just kind of goes and just hangs back by the goal.
What we got on game?
Trying to
What
get
we got
some
on game
rebounds.
2?
Gotta get
What we
that
got on
trip
game
done.
2? What we got on game 2?
They should win.
We got a
They
couple
should win.
days
They're
to figure that
favored.
out.
What we got on game 2?
They're favored. Come on.
What I got to do with anything? They were favored yesterday.
Why would I bet on game 2?
Exactly.
Huh?
Put something on it.
We'll see. We do have time for that.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Let's put it on the series right now. No. You said pull the tape. You said if they win game 1. Well, come on, put something on
You
it.
know what? I slept on it, and I don't want to root against LeBron.
Hey, you know what?
I don't. I'm serious. I don't want him to go away. I'm afraid if I put it on, I'll win because I've been beating you like crazy.
You're crazy.
Because if I do it, it'll be
Do
over
it.
for.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do I want LeBron to drop out of the
Do it.
playoffs?
We don't want a LeBron-less.
Come on, I can't.
playoffs.
I want to see LeBron against. When we get, I told you, Sixers will have 10 cases on it. I love the Sixers.
Like Bron, like, man, Skip betting against me. Let me go ahead and lose. You know good well.
No, I don't want to.
I want to.
I'm hot right now, and I don't want to.
You ain't hot.
I've been hot, man.
All right, it's time. Does Dez have a right to be upset with the Cowboys? We'll discuss that next.